Hello students, welcome back. So in this session we are going to be covering string. String is an immutable sequence of character. Immutable means that these characters they cannot be changed. Once you define your string, those characters they cannot be changed inside a string. So let's see how we define a string, how we declare a string. Well actually I can declare my string using double quotes right here. So s equal to Python is easy to learn inside your double quotes. Okay, and then when I run this thing, it's gonna print my string right here. Okay, I'm printing my string and then I'm printing my type. I also want to see my type. Okay, it says print. It's a string. It's a class string. Okay, that's what the type is. I can also define my string using single quote, and single quote works too. So in this, as you can see, there's a single quote over here and single quote over here. When I run this, prints exactly the same thing. So it doesn't matter which one you use. You can use one or the other. Okay, so let's say I want to access elements of a string. So indexing, by the way, always starts with 0 in Python. So when I run this over here, it's going to print python. So here I'm trying to access the element of my string at index 0. So my index 0 would be p right here, okay? Here I'm trying to access the element at index 1. In this case, it's going to be y. And in this case, t is your index 2, h is your index 3, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, index 0, index 1, index 2, and index 4, I'm printing it out. It prints out the corresponding values over here. Okay, I can also access elements from the last, okay, the last element directly by using the negative index. So by saying s minus 1, it's going to print the last index, which is n over here. When I run this, it prints out n over here. If I say s minus 4, okay, it's going to print the fourth index from the end. So if you go over here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is your fourth index. So that prints out e over here. This is how it prints out e. Okay, so there's something called slicing. So in slicing, you actually this is how you do slicing. You use a square bracket. Your first argument is going to be start position colon end position colon step size. Now, if you do not give your start position, by default it is going to be 0. Same thing with your end position. If you do not give your end position, the default is going to be the last index. In other words, the length of your string. And your step size. If you don't give your step size, your default value is going to be 1. All right, so let's try to understand this thing through an example. Let's say this is my string. Python is easy to learn. So if I type s1 colon 8 colon 1, what I'm saying that my start position is 1. Okay, my start position is 1 and my end position is at index 8. Okay, index 8, and my step size is 1. Step size means how much is going to increment. Okay, so when I run this thing, it's gonna give me a YTHON space IN. What's this happening is this. It's starting with index 1, which is my Y. So it prints out Y right there, okay? Then it's gonna keep going up till index 8. So index 8 is at 6, S over here. So this S character right here, let me just come over here. Rest, as I hope you're able to see, this S is my index 8. So it does not print index 8. Be aware of that. Python and in list and tuples and all those things. So when you try to access elements in a slice, it's always going to be one before the last index. So in this case, if you write 8 over here, it's going to be up to 7. So it's going to print YTHON space I. I is your seventh index. Okay, one in this case is a step size, basically saying that increment by one, increment by one. That's what your one is. Okay, so let's look at this statement right here. What's happening over here? So I'm going from index 1 to index 8, and my step size is 2 now. Okay, over here, my step size is 2. So essentially, what's going on is this that let me just show you. So it starts with index 1. So this is my y, right? So this prints out y, and then it goes 2 steps. So it's going to skip th. Okay, it's going to skip t, it's going to move to h right here. Okay, then it's going to print h. Okay, then it's going to skip o, it's going to go to n right here. It's going to print n. As you can see, it's printing y h n. Then it's going to skip blank space and it's going to print I, and then it's not going to go any further because then it's going to reach the end of the string 8. Okay, and so it's going to print y h n I, and that's how you come with this y h n I. Okay, so let's see. So you can actually change this index. Maybe you could do 2, 3, and play around, so you'll get a hang of it. This one right here is basically from index 1 to index 3. Okay, so let me just comment these two out. All right, so in this case, when I run this, it's going to print from index 1 to index 3. So index 1 is my y, and index 3 would be, actually index 3 would be h, but I'm actually writing 4 over here, 4, right? So it's not going to print the 4, it's going to print 1 before the 4. So 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, it's printing index 1, index 2, index 3. Okay, what about the next one? This one over here, I'm printing starting from index 2 all the way up to 13, and step size is my 3 in this case. So if I run this, it's going to print these elements T and SA. So your T starts from here, okay, then it's going to go, remember step size is 3. So your 3, let me just use my pen. So come back over here again. So it starts with T, right? So it prints out T, then it's going to go step size 3. So 1, 2, 3, then N. N, as you can see, T, N, and then again 3. So 1, 2, 3. So in this case, S right here. S, okay. Then it's going to go again 3, right? So it's going to be S, 1, 2, 3. A, A. And then it's not going to go after that anymore further because then it's going to reach the limit, 13. 13th is your final index. It cannot cross the 13th index. All right. So this is how you can print, these slices. Okay. Then you can also print, let's say you want to print the first 11 characters. So you can just say S square bracket colon 11. Since you're not specifying this position by default, your start position is going to be 0. In other words, from the beginning. So when I run this, it's going to print the first 11 characters. Python is an up to E right here. But remember, it does not print the 11th character. It's going to print up to 10th character. Okay, it's going to, sorry, up to the index 10. So just be aware of this thing. This is going to print up to index 10, not the index 11. What about this right here? Here I'm saying that to print from index 8, okay, start with index 8 all the way up to the end. So since I'm not specifying this position, end position, by default, end position is going to be the last index. Okay, so that's what's happening over here. So when I run this, it's going to print starting from index 8, it's going to print all the way up to the end right here. Okay.